Hello, hello, hello. Nobody's watching 'cause I've just started. Hmm. Time to enjoy some tea. And this is the essential piece of crafting. Goodness. Nice hot cup of tea. My giant pug mug. I mean, like, look, this thing's huge. So, not quite sure what I'm going to be covering today, but I thought a live stream would be better than nothing. Because this week I've been busy, I've been making stuff, but nothing has been filmed because everything obviously needs thinking about, prototyping, getting right before I'm prepared to actually do a tutorial. I mean, what's the point doing a tutorial if I don't know how to do it in the first place? I have to come up with it, refine it, and then whittle it down to something that's worth sharing with other people. I'm not prepared to just go, oh yeah, well I just did this one thing. That's just crap. But there's something that I've been farting about with since the start of my crafting. And basically it's the idea of taking a tea light and getting it right stripped back down to as small as I possibly can. I mean, this is like one that I made yonks ago. Literally the first thing that I crafted, I think. Just, it's just a flickering LED, a little bit of like silicone. I mean, look how jiggly that is. And, it did me a treat as a way of inspiring my mind. But really, I mean, it's like still pretty chunky. But it still works. It's been stuck in a drawer with a load of other crap for about 2 years, so can't complain there. But as a proof of concept, got me thinking. And then, over the time it has evolved into this. Which I know you're going to be like, it's bigger. But the whole point is that the guts of this is stripped back as it gets. I mean, so it's made out of an old Coke bottle lid. As you can guess, I do drink a lot of Coca-Cola. But literally, so that is thicker than it needs to be. This is still just all housing. I mean, most of it is going to be as thick as a button battery. And it works. The rest of it is just, this is all facade. If I wanted to literally just have a fire on the floor, I could do it. But that's not the point. The point was that this craft was easy peasy for me because everything just happened to fit together. But that is not what this stream is about, because I don't know what this stream is about. So you can see it, but you can't know how to make it not yet. That's something you can look forward to next week. So, don't give up on life just yet. You've got something to live for. I better turn it off. Don't want to waste my batteries. But yeah, so, I mean, I think something that I'm going to have to do today is going to have to include foam, isn't it? I mean, this is the size of chunks of pink foam that they lob away where I work, and it's free, and the tensile strength on this is just like ow. But yeah, so it's mad strong and it's mad free because I got it for free. Did get some funny looks walking out the building with it though. I usually leave late at night with it. Not because I'm trying to get away secretly, but because usually I can't be bothered to be carrying around massive lumps of foam. But today, thought this is my opportunity to get this home. Found it today. I'm just going to have to carry it on the bus. I'm getting home early. Why not? But not quite sure what to do with it. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Why am I so dark? Oh my god. I'm illuminated. But bear with me a second, I'm just going to log on to my little screen so that I can keep track of comments. I think it was, I can't remember who it was last time, but someone told me that was a great way of keeping track of my comments, was to open it up. So let's see. Went down the rabbit hole there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute that. And see if any comments come up. Oh, hi, Cough. Oh man, this is great. Look at how poofy the back of my hair is. A little bit of lag, but you know. Back of my head. So arousing. Get this sorted. Having hair in a ponytail all day does that to you. Man bun. Right, how does it look? Ridiculous. Brilliant. Does this mean I'm famous now? No, it means I'm famous now. Oh, you're just like, I don't know, pseudo famous. But, you know, 10 out of 10 would smash. Anyway, I'm not just going to have a chat with my good man Cos here. I will be getting onto some content. So, just a quick one. Fun little story the other day. I went to our local Hobbycraft, which, if you're not from the UK, is like just an art store. It's pretty much the only one that we have now because it kind of outcompeted all the small ones. It's alright, but yeah, it leaves a lot to be desired compared to a lot of the big American style places. But one fun fact, always check your prices, because being an arts and craft store, they have both artist paints and craft paints. Unfortunately, when they have the craft paints section, you would assume that they're going to be cheaper paints for crafts, as opposed to good quality artists' paints and materials. Well, that's where you'd be wrong, because unfortunately they are rather unscrupulous, like most businesses, and the craft paint is actually dearer per mil, and they're having an artist sale at the moment. Artist sale sounds like they're just going to be selling some people in berets smoking pipes, but that's just French people. But French artist sale. But yeah, so I was curious, so I looked at the craft paints and I was like, okay, well, you know, these £2 tubs, you know, they seem alright, but it doesn't seem like great value per mil. Went upstairs, it's actually cheaper for the proper artist's paints. Like, okay, so like, let me just give you an example of like the size pots. So we're talking like, I mean, this is Wilko crappy craft paint, but it's actually really, although the white, every time you open it, it literally spooges everywhere. You have to be prepared for that and sort of like. But this size tub, you know, they were doing it for like £7.50 in the craft section, and the stuff that wasn't in the art sale was like £6 for like proper artist's quality, like much denser paint, much higher pigment. I was just like, are you joking? So, you know, but a fun fact, if you are interested in making washes, like I am, because I've made a cheap wash that I've been using for ages, ever since I did my sewer tiles, which I need to get back down to finishing actually. I just made a generic wash. It was crap, but it works just. I mean, I used, oddly enough, I decided to use a hand soap, and yeah, So it's a little bit bubbly if you're a bit vigorous with it, but it puts a stain on things. Now, Blackmagic Craft, he talks about using the matte medium from Liquitex as well as some inks. Now, I decided to pick up some black. I decided to pick up some, which is this, burnt umber. And I also decided to pick up some olive green. This is where the story gets fun. As you well probably know, most inks have a really high pigment count, but a lot of the pigments tend to sink to the bottom of the container when they've not been turned in a while. You know, it's not like it's a thick viscous material, it's ink, you know, it's watery, so all the sediment drops to the bottom. It just looks like mud at the bottom and then like piss at the top. So you just have to give it a good shake. What do? Get absolutely fucking covered in bright green ink, like up my face, all over my grey hoodie, all over my red shirt. Honestly, I was just like, are you joking? And I was just like, how? How? The lid is on. Some little bastard has tampered with it over the summer holidays and then screwed the lid back on incorrectly. So I'm standing there like, oh yeah, shake it about. Covered. Literally, I looked like someone had sneezed on me. But like, indelibly. I managed to get most of it off, but yeah, I was pretty unimpressed. The manager there decided that at first that she'd just go, oh yeah, just try and wash it off, yeah, it'll be fine. And then when she noticed my other half calling customer services, she rushed over and gave us 15% off my purchase, so win. Although it doesn't really cover the cost of a new shirt and hoodie, but it's better than them trying to whittle out of it, which they did. Tea. But yeah, so I decided also that I was going to pick up a little tray of these little miniature acrylics. Going to see how they fare, perhaps today, perhaps not. I've got 3 viewers now. Let's do a roll call. Tell me who you are in the comments and I'll say hello. If you are new to the channel as well, you might not know that there's a Facebook page, The Fantasy Forge. Feel free to head over there and find it. It's the best way to find out when I'm going to be doing these streams because I don't have a webcam, so this is all done through my mobile, and I can't schedule them ahead of time unless I'm using the computer. So the only way you're going to know about these things is if you follow me on Facebook. That's where you get all updates on my crafts and shiz before it actually happens. But yeah, so I've got some of these. Drop the mic. I haven't dropped the mic.
Hello, is that better?
Once I've finished with this intro sort of session, I will probably move the setup over to the desk or something, so you'll probably be able to hear me a little bit better. But is
that good?
In fairness, I'm probably just too far away from it. It's a lavalier mic, pretty good at close range, but yeah, it's a bit further away than it should be. But yeah, so anyway, I'm thinking that with these large amounts of foam, I should probably start thinking about something to do with those. I mean, if anyone has any suggestions on what you should think I should do with them, let me know and I'll have a go. But first things first, excuse me while I switch on my hot glue gun. That's one thing I've got to do is definitely sort out getting a hot glue gun with a switch. I might just steal a switch off something else and just jam it in there. But yeah, here's something else I was thinking about. If anyone has any ideas for dungeon dressing, hey, we've got a 4th visitor. Hello. Let me know who you are in the comments so I can give you a big thank you. But yeah. Oh no, we're back down to 3. That was quick. Probably looked at my face and ran. Yeah, hot glue gun is heating up. I got some new glue sticks the other day. Got these. They're supposed to be crystal clear. They are not crystal clear. So make sure that when you buy hot glue, if you want it really, really clear, you might have to try a few different suppliers and be prepared for disappointment. Yeah, so let me just quickly put my hand over the camera. Just need to quickly check the battery status. Yep, so I'm good to go. So I'm going to unplug.
Don't worry, I've got you. Like a small bird, delicately resting in my hand as I move you across the room.
So I'm going to stand up so that I can change the height on my stand. There we go. Some more reasonable height. See the chaos in the background. That's how a proper craft room should look. I'm going to turn on my hot wire table just so that's nice and zesty. That's something I picked up as well from the craft shop. Got these funky little, I like lollipop sticks, but they got like this cool little etched pattern into the edges. I've never seen them before, so I thought I'd pick up a pack and see what I could do with them, or see if any of you guys had an idea with them. I did get a bit sort of carried away when I first got them. I made like sort of little house floor thing for no apparent reason, but you know, why not? So let me just organise myself. I wish I had an additional shelf. Literally, this room is just 100% geared up for crafting, and I have no room for anything. Just gonna move you again. Helps if you lock your legs in place, Daz. Buster sword for a dwarf. What does that mean? You want me to make one? I look like one. But yeah. So I'm just going to bring this down one more. There we go. Such professional quality. For the sticks, Buster sword for a dwarf from sticks. I mean, you could probably get away with like some kind of hefty executioner's sword. I mean, like something really gnarly. Nearly attacked the thing. I mean, I don't know, you could like just hack the end off there. 100% live crafting. Always wear goggles. Not. To make my own music again, because of course I can't play any music or they'll kill me. But yeah, so how about that? You know, this could be like some kind of executioner's sword for a some kind of frost giant or something. Hey, Landveter, good to see you. Nice to have you back on a stream with me. My man Kos there was just asking me what I could do with these popsicle sticks. And yeah, so I just hacked one down. I was saying it could be like an executioner's sword for some kind of giant or troll or something, I don't know. Certainly wouldn't be for a dwarf, the sizing's well off. But yeah, I was, I don't know how much of it you saw earlier, but I got these, I got these huge pieces of pink foam, or purple pink foam from work, and you know, I get these free. I got like quite a few of these in bigger sizes as well. So I'm going to mill these down at some point and turn them into something, hopefully. If you guys have got any ideas on what I can turn them into, let me know. I mean, I'm going to have a quick stock take of some of the stuff that I've got. So I'm actually going to move that down a little bit. Get some light on the occasion. There we go. Y'all can see me. Oh, I just looked into the light. Now I'm blinded. So yeah, I'm not putting any resin or anything onto that. Don't worry. Now I saw your video where you did the saw Landvader's video where he did the modular fountain. It's actually really good, so if you've not seen that or don't know his work, you should go check that out. He's got loads of videos. I've just been starting to watch through the back catalogue, something really worth watching in there. But yeah, so I mean, I've got a bit of a stock take to do here. So first up, I think this is like one of the first things I crafted. It's had a couple of repair jobs over time, but it's like a market stall. I mean, this is all pretty basic. Did like some small tables and chairs. You know, this is all like real wood, just stained. This one is like, you know, you get the chef's matches. A couple of toothpicks, some wider tongue depressors, and got some denim. I bleached it from some old jeans, and then I dyed it with some tea, because tea is everything to me. Talking of which, delish. But yeah, so market stall, it's just all glued together. I got a bit carried away. I mean, I'm a bit of a Fimo fiend, and I do love making miniature Fimo stuff. And I made like tiny vegetables and stuff. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but I mean, this guy got like carrots and like some weird cabbages and gourds and all sorts of business. And you know, I made it so that they fitted inside the stand. Also made some with some fish. Well, I don't know where that one's gone. I made a. This is basically like a butcher's hut. So inside, you see it's like a duck, some viscera, some sausages. This was quite fun to make, the sausages. Don't know if you can actually see. God, my camera work is awful today. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, so the sausages is like a bit of string, and then I got some I think it was green stuff actually, wrapped it round the string, rolled it into a roll, then just cut into like the back end of like a knife or a stick or something, just to separate out the chunks, and it allows them to sort of flex, so it looks like a real string of sausages. That was fun, you know. Yeah, again, got the same kind of construction. It's just a rack with like some toothpick bits to hold all the meats, and I've got some toothpicks holding it all together. It's all just hot glued and super glued because I'm lazy. Okay, I'm just going to stop and have a look at some of these words that people are putting on here. Thank you. I'm glad you like the meat rack. I'm glad you like the vegetables. I mean, honestly though, I mean, if you're interested, I can always do a tutorial or at least a walkthrough on the vegetables, because I mean, it looks fiddly, but I mean, honestly, you could do it fairly quickly. It didn't take me long to knock it together, and I hadn't really done it before. You know, I have experience with the stuff, but I'd never made miniature vegetables at that scale before, and it was fairly straightforward. Some other stuff that I've got, that's got some basic little crates. They come in 2 sizes. I've got the miniature barrels. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Let me bring this down here. Okay, it's probably too bright. There we go. Yeah. So miniature barrels. These are just made out of Milliput. With the banding is done out of like a thin card. Just dry brush with a bit of gunmetal. Got a few of those, the small size, and then I've got some more in a larger size in here somewhere. Yep. Yeah, so these are my larger barrels. You know, it's all just, I mean, they're literally we've got the beds. Everyone has seen the beds. I did those the other week. I mean, the underside's still just cardboard, but you're not supposed to be looking at the underside. But so they're good. I'm just trying to go through this to not just show off. I mean, it is nice to show people what I've got, but as a way of figuring out what I need to make next, you know, and hopefully some input from you guys will help to inform the decisions. Got the classic cage, the hair roller cage. These are pretty simple to put together. And these are just hair rollers. I mean, these ones are the ones with like a Velcro on the outside, which is weird. So I just stripped the Velcro off, spray primed. Then I've got some granny grating, hot glue around the rim of this onto the granny grating, sprayed that, then trimmed it to size, then sprayed it, then just dry brushed some burnt umber and some gunmetal over it so it replicates rust. I'm glad you like the realism. I do try to make it real and grimy. There's no point in making things too pretty. It's a sort of medieval sort of world, isn't it? So everything's going to be a bit grubby. And I think that, to be honest, if everything's sort of like too bright, it makes the things that are really pristine, like when you have someone using like holy magics, or you go somewhere where there's real arcane feel about it, or a slightly higher fantasy feel, it's kind of brought out by having sort of low fantasy terrain most of the time. Yeah, I think Scotty did do the tutorial on the cages or something very, very similar. I mean, I've got what else have I got here? Got just a couple of cheap, nasty doorways that I threw together just for my last campaign because I needed some. These are designed a little slot on the bottom, so they go between my tiles, my dungeon tiles, and then also I've got these ones which are a little bit different. So if there's like a gap between two walls, like if you're doing a map that has like literally a room, a doorway, and then a room, like a small corridor between, that's where I'd use this. And the good thing about this is that I put a lead weight in the bottom, so I mean you can take them like way over and they stand back up. I mean if you get them right on the side, they kind of bounce, but then, so because these are going to be on the table on the road, I really didn't want people farting about, knocking them about and having them fall over because it ruins the immersion. Got my cheap and cheerful braziers that I did last time. Oh, land, I don't know if you if you saw this, but this is something I'm going to be doing a video on soon. I'll just move the lamp out the way and show you. So these are my advanced braziers. So cheap and cheerful braziers that is just painted with orange paint, and then you got my illuminated braziers. So take your pick. These are supposed to just be like hot coals anyway. This is supposed to be proper flaming. There we go. Right. What else have I got in here? Oh, got a well. Knock that together real quick. Actually used some of the acrylic. Ow! The soft gel medium. Great minds think alike. If you want to know how I did the braziers, I can go into a bit more detail about that. Show you how I like strip everything down to make it as thin as possible. Because literally, all right. You can get it pretty much just twice the thickness of the button battery that powers it. I mean, literally, you can just strip out everything. The new tea lights that I got to strip the guts out of for this were so simple in the design. Yes, I will be making a tutorial about it. Yeah, I will be making a tutorial about it. I should have that produced probably, well, I'm working Saturday, I'm off Sunday. I might have some time to put the video together Sunday, probably a release on Monday, but I'll try and keep you informed. If you don't know as well, I mentioned it earlier, but head over to Facebook and jump onto the Fantasy Forge Facebook page. It's where I post all my updates about my videos and all the bits and pieces that I'm working on. I'm not really like fishing for numbers. It's just if people are interested in my craft, it's the easiest way for them to find out what I'm doing, because I don't have any ability to live stream from my computer, so I can't schedule it. If I'm working on stuff and I can't get a video out, I don't want people to get disappointed. Good option. I'll get a tutorial knocked out by some point next week, so I'll keep you up to date. Yeah, so like I was saying, got this little well, and I just knocked it together. It's just a little bit of cardboard on the bottom, painted blue on the inside. Now I've got a little bit of like a watery texture on the top. I use the golden gel medium. You can use any like acrylic gel medium as long as it's the soft gel gloss, because it'll be drying perfectly clear and it'll dry to a good gloss finish. I'll put that back where it came from. Don't know if you've already seen the video, but I've got my miniature loot pile, which I painted up. I think this was a Reaper one, but not like Reaper bones. This is like the solid metal ones, and that was absolutely joy to paint. I've got another one of those to do at some point, so maybe you'll see that in future. Oh, I forgot about this guy. This is like a flayed pig, like he's hung by his ankles, because this is like to go with the butcher's meat cart. I mean, he was supposed to come off, but he kept falling off and getting lost and broken, so I just glued him on in the end. But yeah, so it's a pretty grim, but I wanted there to be like a real sort of earthy medieval market feel. Here's more meat rack. We've got steaks, goat head, rabbit, ham hock, and these, when they sit on the table, they are designed to sit that way around, so the edge is at the bottom, so it's sort of like a shelf offering it up. What else have I got? Oh yeah, I've got some of the miniature fish. I've got some pearlescent paint on there. Got the guts and everything. So these are all for like my market stalls. I have got treasure piles somewhere, but yeah, they're craft herpes covered in glitter, so I tend to only pull them out when I need them. I have got the openable chest with that I throw on the floor. The openable chest that has like glittery and gems and stuff inside. I mean, if you like that sort of thing. It's a bit oversized actually. It's like one of the earlier things I made. I'll probably redo it. Also got some rubble piles that I need to finish off. They were part of a collapsed chapel. I've got these things. I don't know if you've seen, but I made a huge boat at one point, and these are supposed to be part of a dock. Now I knocked these up really recently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera slightly. Precious loot! If you're interested in finding out how to do the meat racks, I can always do a tutorial on that. I mean, the actual rack you'll be able to do, no problem. Especially having seen the weapon racks, it's very, very similar. But yeah, so the actual meat and stuff, I can talk through that. I can do some Fimo stuff as well. So I've got my dungeon tiles, my double-sided dungeon tiles. Very Hanker and Fernail inspired these. I like making them double-sided because it means you get more playability with less storage. These ones I have decided to make even more usable by making a dock for my boat. Now I've got quite a few of these. These are like made from like recycled dowels, bits of stuff that I've just accrued and found. There's hair in them. Everything I have is covered in hair. I wonder why. But yeah, so they're really, really, really easy to use. You know, just plop them down, and then just get the next section, plonk it on. That's it. You've now got a new part of your dock. It's really, really, really easy, really useful. And the thing is, because they're all double-sided and because it all folds down to next to nothing, they're made of wood. They're just stained with a bit of my wash. But yeah, it all packs down to next to nothing in practically zero time. I might end up doing new tiles because I made them a long time ago and they're starting to get a bit dinged and damaged, or I might just repair them, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's the majority of the interesting stuff out of here. I've got some bars, my tiny chair, the most awkward thing in the world to make. So I don't really have many of those because they're a pain in the ass. But I've also got some things like items tokens. So these are just like a piece of recycled plastic underneath, and it's like a clear plastic, and then on top you've just got like a coil of rope, coil of elven rope, okay, and also got a pile of chain. That one's actually on a square piece of hard plastic. But yeah, so you know, bits and pieces like that, I think they make the dressing of your world a little bit more richer. You know, it gives people something to explore. But yeah, there we go. But if you wanted to find out how to make any of this stuff, please feel free to message me or leave it on the comments. I've got some random viscera piles for when I've got wave after wave of bad guy and I don't have wave after wave of model. So when they go down, pop out one of this. I think Scotty did a tutorial on that. It's just hot glue and paint. It's nothing specific. Oh, here's something I did forget. I think this might have been like second to first thing that I made. It's my cart with openable back hatch and working wheels. It's actually built to a medieval standard. There's just like pins holding the crank, holding the shaft in. Yeah, I try to keep it simple but working because I'm a nerd for stuff that actually works. But yeah, if you can think of anything, I've got the shadow font. Probably recognise that. Supposed to be a font that was giving off shadows as if they're water, and he came in and was like, yeah, check, bosh, okay, dispel magic, it's just a fountain. And I was like quite disappointed that it didn't take him more than that time, but also quite proud that he got to the nub of the issue and dispelled the magic. Never underestimate your player character. They will derail any carefully thought out plans. Thankfully, that one was straight out of the book. So I can't take any credit for the predictability. But yes, let's pack all this away. Having seen any of that, if you want anything explained or tutorialized, let me know. I'm going to be doing the flaming braziers soon. But yeah, that's basically the majority of my dungeon setting. So if you think of anything that you used quite a lot, let me know, because I'm still building stuff up for my campaign. Oh wow, the stream has gotten really, really bad. It's really bad. Crikey. Sorry about the low pixel rating. I don't know what's going on there. Let me just check my connection. I don't know, everything's in place. Alright, see you around land. Sorry about the crap quality of the video. I'll have toots up soon, okay? See you soon. Well, what I might do is I might actually cut this stream short because of the video quality at the moment and boot back up again, so bear with me. I will try and finish this as elegantly as possible.